Hi, back here again to talk about some dolls. If you happen to be new here, hi, hello. You look wonderful today, by the way. But this is my channel where I talk all about fashion dolls and occasionally other things that interest me, but mostly fashion dolls. And this is a series I like to do on my channel every now and then where I just go over new and upcoming releases in the fashion doll world and just give my opinions. Usually, these happen every month or so, but I've been intentionally putting this one off because, well, for one, there really hasn't been too much to talk about. And I'm not someone who can stretch out talking about one or two big releases for like 15 minutes. But also, I kind of dreaded this video, which sounds so dramatic, and it kind of is. But I love making these. They're some of my favorite videos to make. They're so fun. Usually, it's just nowadays talking about the doll industry is kind of bleak and a little depressing for a variety of reasons. I just put out a video about how disillusioned I am right now with the doll industry, specifically like on the playline level, and suffice to say, things have not exactly improved. And like, I don't want to get into a rant about politics. I doubt you clicked on this video for that, but it's kind of impossible to just not mention. In fact, I think it would be kind of irresponsible on my part to just pretend there are not a lot of very unfortunate factors at play here. And like, don't get me wrong, I promise dolls are not the only thing I care about. Unlike some people who run very large toy companies and think they should be exempt from the policies they actively voted for, I have piles upon piles of criticisms of how my daily life and my well-being are being affected right now. But I do run a channel about fashion dolls, and right now fashion dolls are the topic. And it really looks like, moving forward, we are going to see less quantities of them for much higher prices. So that's why it's not exactly the most exciting topic for me right now. But like I always say, I'm not here to tell you what to think or how to feel. We're not experiencing, like, a drought or anything. There are still products, and I still want to talk about them. I want to enjoy my hobby and the things that make me happy, and you should too. But I also think it's important to keep yourself updated on world events and how they affect you. That's all I really want to say, I think. Also, the warning that this entry might be a little shorter than usual for all the reasons stated above. Actually, one quick announcement before we get into it. I recently opened up YouTube memberships here on my channel. If you're interested, you'll get perks like access to my exclusive Discord server, where we have a lot of fun. We play games together and have movie nights and stuff. There's exclusive videos too, thrift vlogs that I do semi-regularly, the Project Runway video that I had to private for copyright reasons. Also, collection tours, the first of which will be posted very soon. You'll have early access to all my regular uploads and be featured in the credits too. So check it out if that appeals to you. If it doesn't, that's totally fine too. You being here and watching my videos already means the world to me, so thank you. Alright, let's get back to it. But I guess we should go ahead and get into this, starting as we always do with Barbie. So Mattel recently dropped the second doll in the Gala collection, Lavender Daydream. You might remember that I was very obsessed with the first doll in this series, the pink premiere one. Still am, really. And this one is cute too. You know I love a stole. I'm always gonna love a fur stole, like, no matter what. She's also very, like, 90s Barbie fantasy. Oh, very 90s Barbie. But that's also sort of a point of contention, I fear. She's so 90s Barbie that I look at this and I just think, like, 30 years ago, this would be a regular Playline doll. She would cost probably less than $20, and you could get her at Walmart, no problem. And now this is the standard of our adult collector dolls. But there's definitely nothing wrong with her, I don't think. Cute hair, cute face, a pretty cute dress, and $50 is not a terrible price, especially compared to the other Mattel Creations products. It's just more than I'm willing to pay. I think I'm just not so instantly enamored with her like I was with the pink premiere one, Next, a new upcoming Dream Besties doll, Festival Looks Barbie, who comes with 3 different outfits and a few different accessories for, mix and match potential. She's coming out probably within a few days of me releasing this video, and at the moment costs $35. Big asterisk next to that, because pretty much all the prices I say are very subject to change. I do always love to see a set with, like, a bunch of different outfit pieces, especially if they are cohesive and have a lot of potential for mixing up the outfits. And I don't know, I am a Dream Besties apologist. I can't help it. I think they're cute, though I do think the outfit quality here could be a lot better, for sure, especially those denim pieces. And I think I've said this before, but Barbie in the Dream Besties lineup is, like, characterized as the makeup girly, the cosmetics queen, but they never really take it there with her face-ups. It's like we're still stuck in millification for some reason. But otherwise, I think it's a decent set. Very decent. So I'm late on this one, but another thing that happened was the launch of the LeBron James Ken doll. And this is under a new series Mattel started, the Kimbassadors line, where they take, I assume, influential and iconic male celebrities and turn them into Ken dolls, which is fine. I feel distinctly outside of the target demographic for this one, personally. I don't know anything about basketball, and I kind of plan on keeping it that way. But on another level, I don't know, this doesn't feel like a Barbie product to me at all. And it's not because it's a male doll. Obviously, Ken dolls are still a Barbie product, but it's just so far outside of my realm of interest as a doll collector that I look at this and it's like I'm looking at a G.I. Joe action figure or something. I have no complaints against him. I think the people who are interested in something like this is a wonderful product for them. I just feel absolutely nothing. Which the target audience must have really liked him because he sold out basically everywhere. So good for them. Now, there are a couple new things from Disney. One is the Disney Doorables Adorbs Stitch Super Fan Premiere doll, which I assume is being released to promote the live-action Lilo and Stitch movie. A cute idea, I guess. These dolls, I've been kind of mulling them over lately, but I just don't think they appeal to me. I appreciate that they're not, like, true blind box dolls, especially this one. You do know exactly which one you're getting, and I do usually like the very cutesy stylized kind of dolls. I don't know, I'm just not feeling them. I think they're a little too far in that one direction for my liking, if that makes any sense at all. I also think $20 is just quite a lot to ask for dolls of this scale, which, again, might even be more expensive soon. So, there's also the Princess Birthday Celebration Cinderella doll. She is $30, which is monumentally overpriced as it is, and she is... yeah, she's just a very, very basic Disney princess doll. At least she has a fabric bodice and some basic articulation. That's not something you see every day, right? I'm not interested, personally. Pass. Now, a few things from Monster High. Oh, I'm really late on this one. Sorry, but Mattel Creations held another Fang vote, this time for Caddy Noir. And to everyone's surprise, was actually for G3 Caddy, not G1 Caddy, which I was okay with. Some of the girlies were really, really mad, and I can agree that Mattel perhaps should have let people know ahead of time that G3 was a possibility for Fang vote, because some people just want to collect G1, and that's their prerogative. But I do think G3 deserves a chance at some good collector dolls, because I don't think there's really any reason for Monster High collector dolls to only be G1. G3 has a decently sized adult fan base too. Anyways, Caddy. The pre-sale came and went. That was back in March. Again, sorry. But I will say that the votes were correct. Y'all picked the correct options, and I'm very grateful for that. I think the final doll will look really cool. However, where I felt the price was pretty justified for Fang Vote Jennifer, I don't necessarily feel the same way here. She is wearing a bodysuit with a lot of cool ornamentation and a lot of really nice details, but it is indeed just a bodysuit. And one with kind of a weird cut, too. I don't love how rompery it is, but I think that's probably more of like an engineering thing. That's why I ultimately ended up passing up on her. Part of me felt like this really could have been her basic signature doll with just like a few details cut out here and there and sold for like $25. And I'd be happy with that. But $90? I'm saving up and prioritizing a lot of other things, so I just really couldn't justify it. Next, we have the second wave of Buried Secrets, which are Once again, I do not feel very strongly at all about these. I just can't see myself dropping $15 for a doll that is, one, blind box, and two, would have sold for like $8 a few years ago. I think the outfit designs are cute, but the execution leaves quite a lot to be desired. And even though a lack of articulation has never been a big deal breaker for me, I do think it's a necessity for Monster High. Like, I do buy Monster High dolls for their articulation, so Monster High with less articulation is just kind of worthless to me. I also really can't stand the way Mattel chose to mold their bodies too, especially the arms. They're like permanently stuck in like the most awkward positions. I honestly would have preferred them to just be like straight out, I think. And now something from Bratz. We got images of the new Bratziversary doll releasing sometime this month. And when I tell you guys, she saved this video, I'm literally not even kidding. I almost didn't finish making this one because I was putting together this list of new releases to talk about, and like, I got so bummed out. Like, I didn't want to just sit here and talk about a bunch of products I feel so totally ambivalent towards. But then she came, and like a beacon, like an angel, she crossed my feed. I really like her. I'll say it's not the sort of aesthetic I usually gravitate towards, even when it comes to collector-oriented dolls, but the fact that it's a little outside of my wheelhouse and I still love her as much as I do, I think really speaks to how well done she is. The design is clean and elegant and so sharply done. Everything looks so extremely well executed. The face-up is divine. Oh, she's a winner for sure. We don't know yet exactly how much she'll cost, so admittedly that's a pretty big factor. I would hope she wouldn't be absurdly, unrealistically expensive, but, you know. All that said, though, I think she's a big success. Big thumbs up for Bratz. And then, Katy Perry released a doll. That happened. Normally, I wouldn't even really bother mentioning something like this, but I'm desperate, y'all. Actually, so desperate to keep this video from being, like, only 5 minutes long, so let's talk about the Katy Perry doll. First thing I should say, she has the audacity to charge 175 doll hairs for this. For a doll that looks like it was sourced from her local Dollar Tree. And if you were wondering, yes, she is completely bald underneath that ponytail. I want to show pictures, but the only ones I've seen have come from her fans who actually bought this doll and reviewed it, and I don't necessarily want to use their images in a video where I obviously hate and despise and loathe and detest her product. But she is completely bald, because this is a dollar store doll dressed in a pleather outfit, and I use the word outfit here very generously, that looks like it will experience an ounce of humidity in the air and disintegrate into a cloud of toxic microplastic particles. I know I complain a lot about Mattel Creations, but at least they have never charged 175 doll hairs for a doll that looks like it was a throwaway prop in a Nickelodeon sitcom. And the last thing I have for today, I told you guys, it's so dire out here. A new line of rainbow high budget dolls, the My Fashion Style line. Much like with Monster High budget lines, I just really don't have a lot of interest in rainbow high budget lines. I think I'm just a little warmer to these, though. The fact you can see which one you're buying helps a lot, really. Let's see. I like Sunny's hair. The twin tails are always a good call on her. Amaya and Bella's outfits look decently cute. Some good pieces, even for, restyling purposes. Violet looks a damn mess. But really, what else is new, right? Overall, they're fine. I won't be buying them, but I'm sure they'll make someone happy. And that is everything I had on my list for today. As always, thank you so much for watching. I know this was not the most exciting entry, and I cannot promise it will get much better. But it is, of course, now your turn to go down there in the comments and tell me all your thoughts. Tell me which of these dolls you're most excited for, which ones you're getting, which ones you might have already gotten, and which ones you're not getting. Because I do support being a hater, as long as you keep it civil and you keep it cute. But when you're done with all that, just be sure to like and subscribe for any future fashion doll content. Now go out and get those dolls.